still filming.
Alright, intro. Welcome.
Oh, there's still heaps of room in here.
Don't be shy.
Yeah, don't be shy. Cans? Ash?
First of all, thanks to Cameron Paulick and Johnny and Twin Rivers Bookstore for putting this on. You can show your support by buying a book, preferably mine. I can even sign it for you, or draw a cock and balls. It's up to you. I'll just tell a story. Once Zinzi and Brooke came to Lower Hutt Whitcoulls for a book signing, and my mum took me in, and I bought Zinzi and Brooke's book, and I was lining up to get it signed, and when I passed the book to the big all black Zinzi, I said, "Can you please write to Nick?" And so Zinzi and Brooke wrote to Nick, and he just handed the book back to me. I've been traumatised about book signings since that day. This is our nationwide tour, which starts and finishes today. It's Basic Economics 101, supply versus demand. And let's just say we've got lots of supply. Okay, the first reading is near and dear to my heart. It's dedicated to the late great Mikhail Rubin. It's called Your Body Is Gone, But You Never Left Me. You're the bird that comes to see me, the bird that perches on the power line above my letterbox and looks in. Your arrogant tweet pierces the air at random. You just watch me, stick your nosy beak into my private affairs as if I don't know it's you. I confront you, tell you I know who you are. You deny it, but I can see through your feathered cloak. Who would have thought you'd been embodied into a starling? That you'd make your nest in the neighbour's unmaintained spouting, make you a new life at the bottom of the sky. Yeah, that's after Mikhail passed away, I had a writing desk. If anyone's been to my house, we got a internal garage that's been converted to a rumpus room. And when I was writing, there'd be these starlings up on the desk, up on the power lines, and then they built a nest in the neighbours' spouting. And Mikhail told me about how he really wanted to be a teacher in Central Otago and start a little family, and that made me think that maybe his dream had come true. And yeah, we've got a couple of stories I'd just like to share about him. He came to our wedding in Poland, and we were sat around Danuta's parents' dinner table, and it was Danuta's mum and dad, Mikhail, then me, and they were just asking all about my friends, and I was being all proud and translating, and they asked Mikhail, they said, do you have a wife? And I translated to Mikhail, I was like, oh, they're asking if you've got a wife. And he just looked at me and said, fuck that. And I said, on yes Jashuka, which just means he was still looking. And the search wasn't without success, because that night they went out to a nightclub called the Congo. And he met up with this young Polish girl and hooked up with her, and then she turned up at our at our wedding the next day, and she'd written this beautiful handwritten letter to him, and she used this Polish word. It's wyjątkowe, which translates to exceptional or unique. But what she wrote was, "Mikhail, you are a very unusual man." And that makes me think that translation can be better than the original. I don't think anyone's been more accurate. So that's our wee dedication to Mikhail, both very close to Jeremy and I. Next track is called Biblical Floods, which I wrote for Flash Frontiers Awa issue way back in 22. Head for higher ground, Dad calls. The Awa is swollen and bruised, brown and purple, like the time I twisted my ankle playing netball. The paddock's becoming the Awa. Our farmhouse is an island. We leave it behind and go up the hillside. Fortunately, Rufus, our border collie, is with us this time. He's a mat of black seaweed, puffing away, wide-eyed with excitement. The rain drops, relentless, unforgiving, unapologetic, annoying, all those words and more. All these projectiles from the sky shower down on us. It makes me think of wars on TV. Here we're victims, powerless against Mother Nature's brutal onslaught. I think God must be pissed off with us, because it keeps happening. We reach the lookout. Rufus shakes his torso and sprays us with wet. Doesn't matter, we're already soaked to the bone. We get a view of the reddish-brown discharge entering the grey moana. It looks similar when I rub mud from my knees in the bath. Dirty. Mum asked Dad if their insurance will cover the damage. I asked them both if the carpet is going to stink again. This is the worst I've seen, Mum solemnly states. The Awa is too big for it to be called an Awa anymore. It's not a meandering snake. It blankets the whenua, and it's fattening before our very eyes. Now it's huge, it's as immense as the Bible and other fat books with too many words for people like me. This one's title is Untitled. Leaves are mice scurrying across the road. Then when the wind dies, there's just a pile of leaves. Coffee grounds in the plunger are raindrops falling at night. Once the coffee is poured, there's a gritty clump of dark brown ready to be added to the compost. Clouds are animals. A horse's head, a fluffy dog, a fat hippo with stubby limbs. They float away like boats to the end of the deep blue sky. Alright, I'll let Mace tune. I've never sung to an audience before, so basically we could do this song with a loop track, and I remember going to see Liam Finn and Jimmy Barnes's daughter play back in a long time ago. I think I went to that gig by myself. I think it was down Courtney Place or somewhere off Courtney Place, and they're just amazing what they could do with his loop tracks and then jumping on the drums, and yeah, it was just such a great show. But going to gigs by myself used to be a bit of a thing. I famously went to Good Charlotte in Dunedin. I copped a bit of flack for that non-typical decision. However, the real reason I went to that gig was to see Rubicon, the band formed by Paul Reed, who played Marshall Hayward in Shortland Street. They played their hits Funny Boy and Bruce. So against all odds, I'm going to sing for you. It's a song called You Coming Back. It was inspired by Phil Collins' song Against All Odds. Started with that melody, but we sort of had a bit of a practice last night and decided that we're better off doing it a different way. So here we go. Wish us luck. You coming back to me? You coming back to me? You coming back? 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 Coming back to me? You coming back? The end. This one's quite long. While Mace is getting ready, Tim Blackman really wanted me to give a plug to these Home Alone records that have been sitting here for a long time, tapes. So if anybody wants to purchase it after the show, Tim would be more than happy to take your money. The Blackman CDs also available. This is quite a long story, so we'll see how we go. It's called The End of the Word. I wrote a trilogy. First one was called The Other Side of the Word. The second one was In the Word. That got nominated for the Pushcart Prize back in 2017, and this is the last one of that trilogy. And when I read it, I hadn't read this story for such a long time, I sort of realised it's about a guy who keeps looking over his shoulder. After 3 days of rowing, he has lost his bearings. There's no land in sight, no landmarks, no rock outcrops, no contour of familiar shores. He can only see the horizon, and even that is grey. He looks over his shoulder, more grey. Shadows in the water below look like sharks or ghosts. The hollow of the boat might be his refuge from the depths, but offer no salvation from the above. The weather has calmed today. Seems the storm has passed, and with it the swells. His face is weather-beaten, a bit like mine, from a few tough days at sea. Salt has crusted his stubble, eyelashes, and hair, as if he's a caught fish being preserved. His arms are heavy and ache with the weight of the oars. The water starts to feel as thick as the fog in his mind. Come with me, the sea calls. take you to the end. The sea is glassy and grey, a mirror of the overcast sky. It's so flat it could be mistaken for a lake, yet he can taste the salt on his dry lips. He takes a swig of water to relieve his parched throat and tears off a portion of bread. Like his energy, his rations are getting low. He's anxious he won't make it. He's becoming more and more delirious. Grey sea, grey sky, grey ghost, pale grey spirit, sunless mist being, ashen faceless thing, nondescript, mysterious, hazy grey nothing, the intangible somewhere, deep. He breaks out of this mad cycle of thought and continues to row. All he can hear are the thuds of the oars as they submerge, displacing the still water. The surge as the oars resurface, like orca coming up for breath. Then the drips, gentle rainfall, as the oars rotate in the air, and his breathing, heavy and laborious. In between strokes, there are brief moments of silence as he watches the gentle wake dissipate into the iron grey sea. He looks over his shoulder. He stops rowing. The oars hang outside the boat. Drifting with momentum and ocean current, the boat slows and slows until it feels as if he's barely moving. He's afraid, so hopeful. He pulls the oars, closes his eyes, and waits. He looks up. The boat's floating gently, still, in the same direction. He pauses. It's a long pause. A breeze arrives. The water ripples. The layer of cloud breaks open, unveiling the naked sky. He sits quietly and observes the change in weather. Maybe tonight he will see the stars. Is Matariki. After some time he rows, for what else is he to do? He looks over his shoulder. In the distance he spots what could only be a seabird in flight. Woodpecker?
Yeah.
Just me? Alright, hey TG. I'll give Mace a break. This one's called The Woodpecker, and it got shortlisted for Micro Madness 2019 and ended up getting published by The Wild World, which is a journal in Berlin. So that was pretty cool. It's I'll never forget the first time I went to Poland with Danuta. It was this beautiful snow, and we were walking to the big lake, and we found a woodpecker, and I think it took Danuta about half an hour to drag me away from it. I was just so amazed watching this woodpecker. So the story goes like this. There's a woodpecker banging its beak against the tree. It's just one of the many pine trees that cover the flat land as far as the eye can see. I don't know what makes it choose a particular one. This time of year, nothing grows, nothing decays. It's that cold. It's as still and lifeless as a photo. There are no footprints either, no trace that anyone or any ground-dwelling animal has been here, not even me. Echoes of the lone bird's tapping are pushed down by the thick sky. The soft pine needle-covered earth absorbs all the noise like an upside-down chamber. The bird isn't concerned by my presence. In no way is it even interested or curious. it simply continues to peck. I watch the bird disappear into the hole it made, and it takes sound in there with it. Didn't notice that. That should be it.
Oh shit, that thing.
This will be the last one.
Yeah, or last one. That'll be the Legos right time. Could be a long
We good? Nice. You start and I come in. This is our last track for today, so thanks guys for coming out and supporting us. Woo! Thanks to Jeremy Mason on the guitar. Woo! I didn't know the saying when you said, so the saying goes. You asked, promised me we'll never change, but how was I to know? Now I don't want for anything, but is that really true? The trick of every path you see, they all lead me back to you. Your face, your eyes, your hair, you're an angel in the flesh. At least that was the case before we coalesced. And I admit it's magical when a puddle becomes a pond. We walk hand in hand, feed the ducks until one of us absconds. Up we go, evaporate into an endless sky. I never really liked that fateful word goodbye. Goodbye everyone! Thanks for coming. We're the Ballpoint Pens. Woohoo! Had enough?
No.
I can read one more thing, but yeah, you guys want to?
Yeah, we're gonna close with the next one.
Encore.
Encore. Can you guys start that chant?
Encore.
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 Encore. Encore.
Yeah.
Encore.
They really want us to come back on stage, mate.
You guys have to go out the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just have to pretend we're not going to come back on.
It's really hard to open.
Cut it out. No, you're stuck. Do I need the microphone? You guys can hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me? This is the, I wrote this story, it's called, what's it called? It's called The Man Behind the Fence, and in Danuta's village, Obra, which a lot of you guys have been to when you came to the wedding. There's this famous man who'd stand behind the fence and it was sort of just perfectly up to this level, and he'd just watch everything that would come and go. And unbeknown to me, this man was considered a mute, like nobody talked to him, but me being naive and foreign, I just said like, "Hey, Dzień dobry, how's it going?" And he answered me, and I came back, and it was quite an event that this guy had responded, and people didn't actually believe that he had. So I wrote a story about this man, and this is the very ending, which is kind of unrelated, but I think it's quite beautiful. It's about my children, so it's yeah. That night, I'm overtired. I can't sleep. This still, quiet village.
It's the Assyrian Association.
That night, I'm overtired. I can't sleep. This still, quiet village. Slow night. Not a breath of wind. Not even an insect chirping. I feel like getting out of bed, but I've nowhere to go. Nothing to do. I listen to my wife softly breathing, and I think of my children in the next room, snug in bed, sleeping, dreaming. One on his side, his left side like always, facing the wall, his football posters, his animal posters, his maps. The other, the younger one, splayed on his back with arms spread eagle, falling over the edge of his narrow bed. His stickers, half peeling from the wall, look over him like guardian angels. The light from the moon, which is full or close to it, illuminates the curtains at the edges. There's a sharp glow. The house creaks as though it has something to say. Thanks, guys. If you guys want to show your support, there's heaps of really cool books here, and yeah, a one-day only special. You can buy Your New Life at the Bottom of the Sky by Nicholas Fairclough. You can get it signed if you want to. All right, thanks. Woo.
Good job, guys. Good job, Nick.
Was it all right?
That was great. You might want to come out.
Good work, dudes.
Thanks, TV. You like that?
I like that. It's cool.
Yeah.
Didn't know what to expect. That's very cool. Yeah.
No one been told. It's great.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. And you're all staff. You're all staff, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, love that jam, mate.
Oh yeah, she's
Okay.
yeah, she's nice. See you later. See you again.
Yeah.
It's being like
Don't be shy.
Yeah, don't be shy.